Hey everyone, it's me Matt. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I've got quite the task of taming my Unruly Monstera plant on my back patio. I'm gonna first start by removing it from its current container so I can check the roots to make sure it's not root bound, and then I'm gonna repot it in new soil and give it a moss pole to grow on. So let's get into it. Here's my Monstera. So we're on my back patio. I typically keep this plant tucked in behind my lounge chair next to my fiddle leaf fig, and I hadn't realized how big it's gotten. It's literally climbing out of the pot. You can see the stems and the roots are climbing over the edge of the pot. I should have given it a climbing pole a long time ago, but we're gonna get that addressed today. So this is the pole I picked up at the garden center. It's about 3 feet tall, 36 inches. It's actually made with coconut husks instead of moss, but it serves the same purpose as a moss pole. So I'm gonna soak it in some water to get it really moist while I remove the Monstera from the current pot so that I can check out those roots to make sure it's not root bound. My hands are a complete mess, but you can see I got my Monstera out of the pot. I wouldn't say that it's root bound by any means, but you can see it's got quite an extensive root system. So this is the main plant right here with the bulk of the roots, but you can see that there was several smaller plants. So these are all individual plants that I was able to separate out. So at this point, I could replant these smaller plants into their own containers and have more Monstera plants, but I think I want to try and repot everything together, but we'll see if I need to pull some of these smaller plants out to make room for the bigger one. And then I also flipped the pole here. You can see the top here is wet. So I'm trying to get the water to creep up the pole. I might have to take it inside and soak it in the bathtub because I think this bucket is just too shallow for it. So I went ahead and I moved the pole inside. It's in the bathtub, it's soaking, it's laying down in the water. I think that's a better approach. It'll absorb the water more evenly. So the next step in the process, I'm gonna go through all the Monstera plants. I'm gonna trim off the excess roots and get them ready for repotting. I removed a ton of roots. I know this looks like a lot. I know it looks excessive, but these Monsteras are very forgiving and they're gonna grow a ton of new roots once they've been repotted. Next, I'm gonna fill the container with new soil so my Monstera can have the fresh start that it deserves. I used regular potting soil that I amended with orchid potting mix. So the orchid potting mix has perlite and bark in it that will keep the soil light and airy. I also amended the soil with Dr. Earth Exotic Blend fertilizer. The fertilizer is going to give the plants a big boost of energy right after planting. I'll make sure to link both the fertilizer and the orchid potting mix in the video description for reference. The container's all ready for my Monstera. Look how light and airy the soil is. So I'm going to run inside and grab the coconut husk pole. It's been soaking in the bathtub for a while now and should be good to go. Now that I have the pole in place, I'm going to replant the Monsteras around the pole, and then if necessary, I'm going to secure them to the pole using this garden tie tape. I'll make sure to link this garden tie tape in the video description for reference too. So slight change in plan. I haven't actually planted anything yet. This is just resting. I moved the pole from the center of the pot to the edge of the pot. I wasn't factoring in how large this stem was, and I want the plant to kind of fill the pot evenly. So I think this will be a better approach. I can get the stem planted up nicely, and then I'll tuck in some of those smaller plants around the pole. There we go, the plant's been repotted and secured to the pole. You can see I did my best to tie the plant to the pole at the leaf nodes, that way the plant can root directly into the pole, and then as the plant grows, I'll continue to secure the new growth to the pole as well. I also planted the 3 smallest monsteras in this black pot, so now I have not 1, but 2 containers of monstera plants. I'm really happy that I tackled this project today. Let me quickly walk my monstera to my backyard, and then I'll show you it all tucked in next to the fiddle leaf fig on my back patio. My monstera is back in its home on my patio. It's got a new lease on life. It looks so much better now that it's been repotted and trained to the pole. It's gonna look so great once it starts growing and rooting into the pole. My wild, out-of-control monstera has finally been tamed. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found the information useful. Hit those like and subscribe buttons so you can hang out with me in future videos. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.